and then Donald Trump has been tweeting so much. Like from the time that I went to bed up until right now, Donald Trump has tweeted like 15 trillion times, and like I really like okay, and I don't want to, and I
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
he only won in the eyes of the fake news media. I concede nothing. We have a long way to go. This was a rigged election. I just like I love by the way him starting with he only won. Like, and I also love he, like the guy who shouldn't be named. There was this report that I maybe should have made a video on, but if you say Joe Biden in the White House and like you're in earshot of anyone who's like an executive cabinet member, you will get fired immediately. Like especially if you even think of uttering Biden's name or Joe, right? Even if you're talking about Joe the plumber, if you even say Joe in the White House, like you will be fired if Trump hears you. He is that afraid. Biden is like Voldemort to this guy. So I love how he's referring to him as he. It's so good. He only won in the eyes of the fake news media. Oh, there's more though. Rigged election. He will win. Or we will win, rather. I'm so sorry. By the way, again, I want to shout out how much I dislike the Krasensteins, but this is a really good reply. This is a really good reply. Um, so here's some more tweeting. And so we have some tremendous evidence of widespread voter fraud in that there is irrefutable proof that our Republican poll watchers and observers were not allowed to be present in poll counting rooms. He's really sticking with this, like, he's not like there aren't observers even though there's video evidence of people observing. Like he's really sticking to this one. We're not allowed to be present in the poll counting rooms, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and others. Unconstitutional. Well, all right, Don, you got a point. All right, so Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, they're canceled. All right, those electoral votes no longer matter. I've got news for you. Joe Biden still wins. I'm sorry, I really hate to break it to you. Even without those states, Joe Biden still wins. You lost, Donald Trump. It's over. It's done. You're gone. I really, and again, I really hate to say this.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Like watching him melt down on Twitter. Okay, so now I'm a connoisseur of comedy when it comes to Donald Trump's kind of like isms, right? I I knew this is one of the main reasons why I voted for Joe Biden. I knew that when Donald Trump lost the election, I knew it would be funny. I knew that the lame duck would be hilarious. Now, I didn't know it would be this funny. There was no way to know it would be this funny, but like it was the writing was on the wall that this guy wouldn't be able to take it. I've got a question actually for the chat room. Could you find me audio clips of Donald Trump talking about Joe Biden on the campaign trail? I remember there was this clip, and I wish I had it. It would be really funny to put it in the intros of like of Donald Trump. Like I remember this clip of him saying like, if Joe Biden wins, I'll leave the country. I'll be embarrassed. Like, can someone try to find those? That would be great. But again, it's just this is really funny. And again, this is like you have to understand. I know it's been 4 years of this motherfucker. I know the humor is a little bit stale, but you have to understand. This is the president of the United States. This is not like a weirdo like CEO of like a company that no one's ever heard of, right? And then they make a biopic about them like 30 years from now and then they gain popularity after they die. No, this is not like one of those situations. This is the president of the United States having a public temper tantrum that has lasted for almost 3 weeks now. Like, how long has it been? Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? I have a bad sense of time. Okay, it's almost been 2 weeks then, okay? It's almost been 2 weeks since Election Day, and he's still kicking and screaming. Like children learn to walk in this amount of time, and yet Donald Trump is still crying, and it's just like it's hilarious to watch. So, all right, he's got some other tweets here, but these kind of tie into the next thing I'm going to talk about, the Million Maggot March here. I look forward to Mayor Giuliani spearheading the legal effort to defend our right to free and fair elections. Now again, like okay, I want you to try to eliminate as much context of 2020 as you can here. Okay, so close your eyes. Let me tell you a story. Okay, so the year is 2020. Donald Trump is president. We're in the lame duck of his presidency. After he loses the election, he refuses to accept the election results. His top lawyer, the lawyer in charge of his election legal challenges, was filmed masturbating in a comedy movie that was released less than 3 weeks ago. This is the top lawyer for the president's legal defense to try to steal the election. Someone who was caught masturbating on camera in a movie that went viral 3 weeks ago. Now this is the world that we're living in. This is the world that we're living in. I just can't. I really can't. Antifa scum ran for the hills today when they tried attacking the people at the Trump rally because those people aggressively fought back. Antifa waited until tonight when 99% were gone to attack innocent MAGA people. DC police, get going, do your job, and don't hold back. So again, I could have missed any sort of viral clips. I've got one that Trump retweeted. So I could have missed others, and if there are any other clips from the Million Maggot March that I miss here, feel free to let me know. I woke up a little late, so I didn't do my due diligence. But I do have a little bit of handfuls of stuff. Radical left Antifa scum was easily rebuffed today by the big DC MAGA rally crowd, only to return at night after 99. This is like he's tweeting the same thing twice. He's tweeting the same thing twice. This is like he has the first one and he's like, I could word this a little bit better. And then like he words it a little bit better and then he like goes to tweet and then like one of his advisors is like, Mr. President, that wasn't a draft. You actually tweeted the first one. And he's like, oh, whatever. I'll just tweet it again, but with slightly better wording this time. Like they're the same tweet. It's the same tweet. Like, only to return at night after 90. It's the same tweet. He just tweeted the same thing, but with different words. It's like the first one was like plagiarized, and then the teacher like snapped the ruler on his desk and was like, you have to use your own words, Donnie. And he's like, okay, ma'am. And then he writes it in his own words. Like this is the same tweet. But again, Donald Trump is having a public meltdown, and I don't think anyone, if we had every comedian on planet Earth, I don't think we could have come together with a situation that was funnier than this. This is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Jesus Christ.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
The radical left Antifa scum aren't allowed on our streets. God is so good. Jesus Christ. He's literally like, he's like a snowman melting in real time, and we get to watch it, and it's great. It's so fun. I love it. There is tremendous evidence, believe me. Now, all of our court cases are being shut down because the judge is asking us what evidence we have, and we have no evidence. But let me just tell you, we have tremendous evidence. Hold up.
Let me just tell you.
We have tremendous evidence. Let me just tell you.
Let me just tell you.
I love let me just tell you. Let me just tell you is so good. Like that's one of my favorite Trumpisms that I don't think gets enough praise is let me just tell you. Like one of my things that about Donald Trump that I love so much is that like you can trace almost every single evil of capitalism to one person. Like he's a man, he's a white man, he's racist, He's a cheater. He's a crybaby. He's silver spoon fed fucking baby, right? He's like, you know, hyper toxically masculine, right? He speaks in marketing terms. He doesn't know how to speak English. Like, let me just tell you is like a total marketing thing. Like, he's like, all right, let's cut through the bullshit. Let me just tell you. But like, he says it all the time. Right? Like, he says it all the time, so it's like it loses its luster. Like, if you're in a meeting and it's like 1969, right, and you don't know that much about Donald Trump, and you're in a meeting, right, and he's like, you know, on his fifth cigar, and he puts it into the fucking ashtray, and he looks at you in the eyes, and he says, let me just tell you, right, then I could get falling for it. But he's still saying that shit, like, every single other day, like, as president, let me just, and people still fall for it. It's... Oh my God.
Let me just tell you, I get along with everybody, which is my obligation to my company, to myself, etc.
Let me just tell you.